universe of liquids, Jupiter's moon Europa appears to be an unlikely place to find some. It's an Arctic wasteland, sheathed in water ice and riddled with cracks.
It's like looking down on ice floes in the Arctic or Antarctic. See cracks that have been just offset from one another, and suggesting that the surface is kind of floating around on top of a liquid underneath.
And it's not just a splash of water either. Beneath a layer of ice 60 miles thick lies an ocean 60 miles deep.
That's deep. That's a lot of drilling you would need to do if you're going to go ice fishing on Europa.
Smaller than our moon and nearly 3 times farther away from the sun, as tiny Europa orbits, it passes through Jupiter's magnetic field. But it's another mighty Jovian force that keeps a world so far from the sun from being frozen solid.
It gets energy from the gravitational tug of Jupiter. Jupiter is very massive, and it pulls tides on Europa much the way the moon pulls tides on Earth.
Jupiter's gravity teams with the tugging and shoving of the other satellites in nearby orbit to mash and stretch Europa. The resulting friction heats and melts the moon's interior. What's left, ground up inside Europa, is salt water.
It's mainly H2O, plain old water, but dissolved in it are salts and other materials, just like our ocean has salts and minerals and things dissolved in them.
The best analogy for the water on Europa would be water from the Dead Sea in Israel, where you have a very, very high concentration of salt. Not a good place to get your bottled water from.
Liquids can turn up in the most unexpected places, and none may be more surprising than a recently discovered liquid nearly as old as time itself. 14 billion years ago, the universe began as an infinitesimally small point when it erupted in a cosmic explosion known as the Big Bang. It rushed outward, expanding and expanding, exotic particles and gases cooling and coalescing into stars.